How are you guys doing? Today is Thursday, December 10th, 2020, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to take you through yesterday's elite performances from college basketball and Champions League soccer, and I will also preview tonight's NFL football along with tonight's college basketball in the next round of Champions League moving forward. And starting off with yesterday's Champions League performances, just going through the groups to finish off in Group H. PSG was able to beat Istanbul Basaksehir here and advance to the next round. They would go on beating them 5-1. Neymar would score a hat trick by the 50th minute, and then Kylian Mbappe would score in the 42nd minute off a penalty kick, and then in the 62nd minute, both those players would combine for all 5 of the PSG goals, and with this, they will advance, and Istanbul Basaksehir will fall to the bottom of the group, and they do not qualify for Europa League, but Manchester United does, as Leipzig was able to beat them. That's Group H, and as Group E's, F, and G's have already been decided, Groups A through D had to be decided. Starting with the earlier games through Group D, Atalanta was able to beat Ajax 1-0 or 1-0. Muriel's goal in the 85th minute after Gravenberch for Ajax got a red card was enough to get Atalanta through, and Atalanta would finish second in the table with 11 points. Ajax is third in the table with 7, so they fall and they drop to Europa. And Liverpool was able to beat FC Midtjylland, they were able to tie at 1. Scholes would get the penalty kick from Midtjylland after Salah got the first-minute goal for Liverpool. And with this draw, Liverpool still sits at the top of the table with 13 points, and FC Midtjylland, with their second draw of the table with no wins, they have 7 points, and they fall out of Champions League, and they do not qualify for Europa League. Going up in reverse order, Group C, Manchester City was able to beat Marseille 3-0. Ferran Torres, Sergio Aguero in the second half, and then an own goal from Marseille would give Manchester City 3 goals and 3 points in the table, which set them at the very top with 16. FC Porto was able to beat Olympiacos 2-0. Otavio's penalty kick and Uribe's goal in the 77th minute was enough to give Porto the 2 goals and the 3 points. Porto finished with 13 points in the table, and Olympiacos third. And I think since Olympiacos had a better goal differential than Marseille, Olympiacos will advance to Europa League as Marseille falls out. In Group B, Real Madrid would finish at the top of the table after beating Borussia Mönchengladbach 2-0. Karim Benzema would score in the 9th and the 31st minute. Of course, those goals were not, considering they were third in the table going in, they finished at the very top. And Borussia Mönchengladbach, because they had a better goal differential than Shakhtar, they will advance to the next round regardless. As Shakhtar was able to tie with Inter. If Shakhtar had won, they would advance. If Inter had won, they would probably advance. I don't think Inter would have advanced, but Shakhtar definitely would have. And with this draw, because Shakhtar's goal differential is 7 worse, they had the same amount of points as Borussia Mönchengladbach, but Borussia Mönchengladbach will advance to the knockout stages of Champions League, while Shakhtar will get relegated to Europa League following this loss. And Inter drops out completely. They missed it. But Real Madrid and Borussia Mönchengladbach are the 2 teams out of Group B that will advance. And following yesterday's affairs, in Group A, Bayern Munich, the reigning Champions League winners, they were able to beat Lokomotiv Moscow 2-0 after Nicolas Sule scored in the 63rd minute, and Choupo-Moting would score in the 80th. And just this win over Lokomotiv Moscow would keep Lokomotiv Moscow at the very bottom of the table, as they would not qualify for Europa League. And Bayern, with 5 wins and 1 draw, has not lost in Champions League since early 2019. That's a whole separate thing. And then last but not least, jumping into Atletico Madrid versus FC Salzburg. Atletico Madrid was able to beat Salzburg as both teams needed this win. Hermoso scored in the 39th minute, Carrasco in the 86th. With this loss, FC Salzburg, or because Lokomotiv Moscow lost, FC Salzburg was good enough they were good enough in the table to qualify for Europa League, as Lokomotiv Moscow, with 1 point less in the table, they got relegated, or they missed the table completely. So, I mean, great performances from every team that competed, and that's how Champions League is set. As of right now, the teams that are moving on are Bayern Munich and Atletico Madrid out of Group A, Real Madrid and Borussia Mönchengladbach out of Group B, Manchester City and FC Porto out of Group C, Liverpool and Atalanta out of Group D, Chelsea and Sevilla out of Group E, Borussia Dortmund and Lazio out of Group F, Juventus and Barcelona out of Group G, and PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, and RB Leipzig out of Group H. Four German teams. But of course, I'll get back into that in a bit. Jumping to college basketball, because of course college basketball was being played last night. Second-ranked Baylor was able to give Stephen F. Austin their first loss of the season as Baylor beat them 83-52. Davion Mitchell finished with 11 points and 7 assists as he led the way for them. 13th-ranked Wisconsin was able to beat unranked Rhode Island 73-62 as they jump up to 4-1 on the season. Brad Davison finished with 23 points. Rhode Island now 3-3 on the season following this loss. 13th ranked Texas was able to beat Texas State at home 74-53. Greg Brown finished with 18 points and 3 blocks. Texas is now 5-1 on the season as Texas State drops to 3-2. 17th ranked Texas Tech was able to beat Abilene Christian 51-44 and give Abilene Christian their first loss of the season. Both teams are now 5-1 following this. Kyler Edwards finished with 19 points to help Texas Tech get their 5th win of the season. 19th ranked Richmond was able to beat unranked Northern Iowa 78-68 to go 4-0 to reach 4-0 undefeated. Tyler Burden had 21 points and 13 rebounds, and Northern Iowa falls to 1-4 following this 10-point loss. And also in ACC Big Ten Challenge, 20th ranked Florida State was able to beat unranked Indiana 69-67 in overtime. Raekwon Gray leading the way for FSU as he had 12 points and 9 rebounds. And then Trace Jackson would finish with 25 points and 17 rebounds for Indiana. With this win, Florida State is now 2-0, and with this loss, Indiana drops to 3-2 so far on the season. And some other games have been canceled yesterday. I imagine they're going to get moved. But the game's on for today at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 23rd ranked Arizona State will face off against 24th ranked San Diego State on FS1. San Diego State is 4-0 and Arizona State is 3-1. And Arizona State has I want to say Josh Christopher, one of the highly touted NBA draft prospects for the up and coming year. So that's going to be an interesting game to watch. And then looking forward to NFL football tomorrow, it looks as though the 6-6 New England Patriots are going to go all the way to Los Angeles to face off against the 8-4 Los Angeles Rams. A rematch of the 2018 Super Bowl, Tom Brady's last Super Bowl for the Patriots. And that was in Atlanta, so I remember that. So that's going to be a rematch of that game. The Rams are 8-4, looking to get a big win to help their playoff chances in the NFC West. And the Patriots are now sitting at 6-6, hoping that they can at least squeeze into the AFC wildcard picture as of right now. And with that said, today is Thursday, December 10th, 2020. Out here in this quarantine, I'm James Sims. I want to thank you for listening to all 8 minutes of this piece. I hope all is well. And then I'll catch you tomorrow to talk about today's football game and today's one college basketball game and preview what's going on for the weekend. With that said, I hope all is well. Peace out.